back, everybody, to Rich with Grandpa. And I want this thing to run because today I actually went out and spent over $5 a gallon and put non-ethanol in her first time. And so I want to get some non-ethanol into this carburation and fuel system. So enjoy the ride. We're going to give her a little bit of time and then we'll do the tour because I've been busting my hoop on this. Hang on. Well, she still runs it. She sounds real strong, and I'm glad of that. And so today, I'll give you a little tour of what I've been up to off camera, because most of what I've been doing is really kind of boring content for you guys. Certainly nothing I would sit around and drink a beer and watch, especially since I'm not that good looking. But I've been focusing on a number of different things. Brakes, suspension, undercarriage restoration. It just never ends. Not to mention that most of Labor Day weekend and 2 days off work, I've been spending trying to defoliate the forest around the house. So, you know, Grandpa's been kind of busy. Grandpa could use some rich sponsors. All right, so we've got the lines run. We got all the new parts, and we're starting to get this put back together. Yay! The hardest one of the four because of my limited space. This is a biatch to get in here and work on, but it is what it is. I don't have a big fancy shop like some of these guys like Hoovie or Randy or any of those guys. I got what I got and I'm grateful. All right, so also I've been spending a fair amount of time in the last couple of days just trying to reorganize because I got stuff everywhere. Tools, parts, whatever. And if you guys are doing this kind of stuff in your garage, you're probably in the same shape I'm in. Is this part something I'm using, or is this something I'm supposed to throw away or save, or box of unknown, possibly restorable brake parts, but I'm not sure. Backing plate bolts that are in the process of restoration. More parts that need to be restored. That's probably one of the best corded drills I've ever bought. I've had that drill for 20 years and it still runs like a brand new one. Okay, so, well, we knew this girl still runs. I really want to do the 4-rail on this, but it's just not in the budget right now. Maybe a little bit later on, because I've still got tires, an exhaust system, and then once that's done, we'll see. But ongoing with the front suspension. Sorry if the light conditions aren't all that great, but we currently have the pickle bar on the tie rod here, outer and the inner, and it hooks up the there. So this thing is just, you know, like rust welded. So we're doing the PV blaster and the pickle fork and giving us some time and prayer. Now, guys, this is going to be a questionnaire for all my old classic Mopar guys who are doing stuff like this with some of the 60, 70, early 70 vintage A-body stuff. I've already realized from comments and research that I got to pull these torsion bars, and I'm in the process of designing and building a tool to do that. Yeah, I know there's a tool out there you can buy. It's like 100 to 130 bucks, but I can build one for under 30. So that's going to be something that me and Jerry, my buddy out at Tomcat, are going to be doing. But we've got the strut rods and all this. And now this is something that I'm not seeing in a lot of the other cars, but, and I apologize for the light. You've got this adjustment bolt that is part of your front suspension, your height control and all that. Now, a lot of people say, well, you got to back this all the way down to give you enough flexibility with your lower control arm and everything in order to, you know, do what you got to do. Well, unless you want to put a paint mark maybe on whatever and, you know, try to keep up with the count. So what I did, I just put a tape measure down in there, and this one is at 2 3/8 inch pivot ball to plate. So that's what I will reset that at after I back it out for this and then put it back in place. The thing I find rather interesting is that this is almost like a, I don't know, solid lifter push rod setup. I apologize again for the light. You've got this round ball that fits up into a round socket in there. Most of what I'm seeing in at least some of the older suspensions is you've got rubber bump bars and stuff like that, but apparently I don't think so. Now you've got this bump bar here, and here's something else I got a question for you. Hold on. See if I can. Not very good light. I apologize. But got this right here. That might have been rubber. It's hard to tell. It's pretty hard, but it's bolted on there. What is this? Because right now I'm clueless, which is probably true about most things in life, but you know, I'm learning. Even though I'm a freaking old dog, I'm trying. So, we got this coming off, all new parts waiting in the boxes over there. Want to get this down, working on design and fabrication of the torsion bar removal tool. We've got all the new parts, shock absorbers, A-frames, ball joints, blah, 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 put in here. And something else, I said we got brakes going on back there. We got this rebuild going on here, as well as on the other side after we get this one done. Plus, in running the new brake lines, which is still in process and quite a learning experience for me based on how some of this stuff was done in the day. Let's take a look underneath. Let me take a quick look inside. She's looking pretty good. I am looking at the possibility of doing some swap out here with some of the trim and metalwork from that to that, because that one's in better shape. The console itself isn't terrible, but it's rough. And there is a way that I can take all of this off and put it on that. But that's, you know, something that we'll do like when it's 40 degrees outside and raining and I can't go out there and mow. All right, so anyway, I gotta get some new door trim. Y'all got a suggestion for, you know, a good, inexpensive door weather seal location? And I've got to do something with these. I mean, you know, I got the old tracks out, and my God, I may have screwed up big time with doing that, but I didn't know what else to do. I mean, I got to get this stuff out and find a way to attach something new in there that's going to work with the window. Still want to take all this down and do a color match on the interior with the outside on the metal here, the metal on the dash, and the surrounding metal around the back. But, you know, I would also like to, you know, have a weekend somewhere. But, you know, I'd just like to have a week and some help and an unlimited bank account to work on this thing, as most of us that are doing these kind of restorations would. All right, off the soapbox, Brandon. It's time for you to get back to what we're doing here. All right, hang with me. Remember, I'm old. I gotta be careful I don't break something. Tools, parts, or hips. This car, at some point in its history, somebody decided that it would be a great idea to put undercoating on it, which, you know, for the time in the 70s was not unheard of. I put undercoating, excuse me, on several cars that I owned during the time frame. The problem was it was all pretty much rattle can, unless you could afford, you know, a shop that, and nobody did that. And whoever did this did a really crappy job, because they basically did no prep work on the under chassis. There was mud and dirt and everything, and they just got under here and they just covered everything. Emergency brake cables, fixtures, the floor pan. They just made a mess under here. Brake, fuel lines, fixtures, everything was just covered. And of course, on top of dirt. I am surprised this whole damn undercarriage isn't rotted out, but it's not. By the grace of God, because of what they did, even though it was very, excuse my French, less than professional, it may have kept some of the damage over the years from occurring to this, but it sure is making it a hell of a mess to clean up. Now, I've been under here in the past with a wire wheel and a drill, but while I've been working on trying to put in new brake lines and getting all that stuff done up, I thought, you know, what the heck? So I've got, well, I don't have it easily here, but it's CRC non-flammable brake cleaner in the Pro line. So it's a bigger bottle. It's about $10 at O'Reilly's. And I just started spraying all of this stuff, hoping that maybe it would, you know, break down some of this undercoating and stuff to where I could take it off. Well, it works. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell, but if you had seen what it looked like before, and I'll show you what it looked like before on some of the other panel. But fortunately, it's fairly solid. It's got a little bit of damage, and this isn't fully cleaned. I mean, that's just, you know, out here scraping actually with a tile tool, which if you're going to do stuff like this, you need one of these. This tool is indispensable when you're, you know, doing stuff like this. So anyway, you get back here, you can see, and I have worked on this, but it's still got a long ways to go. And if we can kind of maybe zoom over there, you can see that it's much heavier. It's just kind of a mess. So I've been trying to kind of work on that because I need to know if this floor pan, or, you know, where I've got to do something in here as well as everything else. But we've got the primary rear brake line rigged up here, and we've still got to figure out the configuration to wrap it around and feed this line, and we're working on getting that side rebuilt. So I'm still at it, guys. It's just a slow, tedious, and quite honestly, for the most part, trying to do this stuff on camera, since I don't have all this fancy time lapse and editing opportunity. It just really isn't conducive for me to bring you along for it. I mean, if you want to come over and hang out at my house, I'll bring you along. I'll hand you a wrench and a cold drink and we'll do it. But otherwise, I'm doing it as I can, the hours I have on the weekends, and occasionally in the evening if I'm home before dark 30 and I've still got enough energy to come out here and fall down on something. But I'm still at it. Guys, we're just over 520 subscribers, and I appreciate and love every one of you that are, you know, with me. I'm asking, I'm reaching out. I need to see some growth. Comments are always a suggestion. In fact, with what we've gone over today, I want your comments and suggestions. I'm trying to do what I can, but there are a lot of you guys out there I know that are watching that have got a lot better experience and knowledge about this than I do. This is my first Mopar build. And you guys that are new to the channel, if you're enjoying what I'm trying to do, please share with your friends and thumbs up. As one YouTuber says, please watch the whole video. That helps the algorithm so we can get more exposure. Guys, I'm an old guy. I'm a long ways from monetization. But it sure would be nice to think that maybe someday I'll get enough money off of YouTube from your support that I might be able to go out and buy a cold beer or a gallon of gas. Love you guys. Have a great upcoming week. May God bless you all. Mopar, no car.